John Lewis here of Less Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing another head by Dirt Nap, and this is their Titan. Okay, it's their beast of a broadhead, solid steel, non-vented, 200 and 225 grain broadhead. Okay, it's modular, has a collar to change the weight there. But we're going to zoom on in here, go through that, and go through some of the other design features and specifications, and then I'm going to put it to the test using my protocol for 2022, and also using my Bowtech SR6, set at 72 pounds, and Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shots, but the Bishop FAD eliminators for the really hard impact shots. And for a detailed description about all my test process, as well as to find the scores of how it performs in each of the areas that I test, you can read about that in the description box right below this video. But let's check out the Titan. Here's a good look at the Titan. The Titan is a really cool broadhead. It's basically the same design as the DRT and the DRT HDs, but it's solid. And so it's solid steel all the way around, going to make it a bit quieter in flight and perhaps a bit more durable as well. Now it has a modular weight system that, as it's pictured here, it's 200 grains. But then if you use this collar in the back, slide it on right over that, then it's 225 grains. So that's really nice that just with that extra collar, you can increase or decrease 25 grains. Now, the stem on this, the threading is really long, so I had to add a small washer in there just to fill in that gap. Otherwise, there would be a little bit of a gap between the base of the broadhead and my arrow shaft because the stem is just so long. The dimensions of it are 1 3/16 inches this way by 5/8 of an inch this way, and the blades are 0.051 inches thick. The blades are made out of a 420 J2 stainless steel, and the ferrule is all steel as well. It's made out of a 1045 medium carbon steel. So looks really cool. Oh, the blades are 0.051 inches thick, if I didn't say that. So it looks really cool, all steel. You notice it's double bevel, sharpened all the way around the fronts as well as the back, and it has that curved surface, which if you're sharpening using the Stay Sharp Guide C sharpener, like the letter C, designed specifically for curved or concave or convex blades, that would really come in handy on a head like this. And you know, you got to sharpen it again on all these different sides. Now I will say one concern that I would have is that it gets really thin right there in the end with a double beveling like that, and with the ferrule being set so far back, there's not a lot of support for a pretty thin tip. So I'm eager to see how that performs in a hard impact. But it sure does look like a cool head, and I'm eager to put it to the test. $175. It penetrated through 8 inches. $350. It penetrated through 65 layers. It's in pristine condition after the 3 shots through the MDF. It held up fairly well through the 2 shots through the steel plate. You can see that thin tip got pretty blunted, and then the blades and the bleeders got kind of nicked up. But otherwise, and structurally, it's in good shape. And here's the holes in the steel plate, and they're just what you'd expect from a broadhead like this. And it's a good example of seeing the benefit of those bleeders. They really do open up the hole and give it a bit more width and aid in bloodletting. here's a head after going through the MDF and the steel plate and then into the concrete. And it did really well through the MDF, fairly well through the steel plate. I will note in the angled penetration test, it lost a bit of this bleeder as it hit at an angle. With that forward bleeder, it takes a lot of impact there on an angled shot, so that's something to consider. But the concrete, it stayed intact. It just lost the bleeders, and the tip got a bit curled, and you can see there's quite a wobble to it. So it's not reusable, but it did hold up to even that 0 penetration test. So not the best durability in the world, but certainly not the worst. I mean, this is definitely something that's durable enough to hunt with, in my opinion. So what'd you think of the Titan? Hey, I tell you what, it had some real strengths to it. I think, the Dirt Nap, what they've done is they're building a decent quality head at a pretty affordable price. Like for an all-steel head like this, you'd expect to pay about double what Dirt Nap is charging. And I know that means there's a little bit of a quality loss compared to those, twice as expensive broadheads. And yet, they're still going to get the job done. And so they're really worth a look. So check out the score sheet and see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most, and see if it might be a good fit for your hunting situation.